If you're a small business owner, you're probably always thinking about how to bring in new customers. But have you ever lost a customer? Not because your offer was bad, but because how you contacted them felt wrong. Maybe you sent one too many texts and they opted out, or perhaps you buried an urgent update in an email that wasn't opened. Whether it's a promotion, an update, or a reminder, it's usually easy to know what you want to say. But things get more complicated when it comes to delivering that message. Do you send an email for that new promotion, or is a text better? More often than not, that choice turns into a guessing game. But turning your campaign strategy into a game of chance can be riskier than you think. Using the wrong channel can lead to unsubscribes, spam complaints, or even missed conversions. So the real question small business owners need to ask isn't, what am I saying? It's, what channels fit this message right now? And to answer that question, you need a decision framework. But before we jump into the framework, it's important to clarify that there is no universal best channel. Email and SMS serve different purposes and are effective at different moments in the customer journey. This framework isn't about ranking one over the other, but about choosing and sometimes combining channels based on message intent. Instead of guessing every time you hit send, you can run each message through our decision tree. Here's the framework. Every marketing message answers 3 questions. First, how urgent is this message? Second, how much context does it require? And third, do I need someone to take action immediately? Once you answer those 3 questions, choosing a channel gets a lot easier. Let's apply that framework to email and SMS. Email works best when urgency is low to moderate, and the message requires explanation or context. That includes things like newsletters, product updates, education, or storytelling. This is because email gives you the space to explain the why, not just the what behind your products or services. For example, if you run an e-commerce business launching a new product, email gives you room to share product details, images, and what makes the launch worth paying attention to. In contrast, SMS is designed for high urgency, low context messaging. This includes reminders, confirmations, deadlines, or time-sensitive nudges. And because SMS is typically read on a small screen, messages should be short, focused, and centered on one clear action, such as reminding customers that a sale is ending or inventory is running low. In many cases, though, you don't have to choose between email and SMS. Using that same e-commerce example, the most effective approach is often to start with email and then follow with SMS. You might introduce a promotion in an email earlier in the week, then send a short text message as the deadline approaches, like a last day sale reminder or a low start alert. That way, email handles the explanation, and SMS reinforces timing and prompts action. Now let's take that same e-commerce example and see what it looks like when you automate it in Mailchimp. Inside Mailchimp, you can choose a template to create an automation. After choosing an automation, Mailchimp first asks for a starting point or a trigger. For an e-commerce business, that trigger might be someone joins your email list, someone is doing a product, or someone has started but has yet to complete a purchase. This step defines when communication begins, but not how you'll message them. In this case, we'll walk through a workflow for new email subscribers. Once that trigger is set, you choose the first action in the journey. In most cases, the first action is an email. Here you can select an email you've already created or build a personalized one directly inside the journey. For example, if someone joins your list after browsing your store, you can personalize the welcome email with the product they viewed, including images or reviews. After that email, you add a delay step. Here we will choose to wait 1 day to give them time to read the message and take action. Next, Mailchimp lets you add logic to the journey, so you can check whether that customer clicked a link, visited the product page, or completed a purchase. If they have taken action, the journey can stop there. If they haven't, this is where SMS naturally fits into the flow. Here, we can add an SMS step to send a short message with a clear call to action, such as a reminder that the item they saw is still available if they want to return and approach it. Because SMS is permission-based, this message goes only to customers who opted in to receive texts, helping you stay compliant while keeping messages targeted. Zooming out, the journey shows you the entire sequence, from trigger to email, delay, and then SMS follow-up. Once this journey is active, that decision runs automatically, so you're no longer rethinking the channel every time. The framework is built into the system. Now that you know how to choose the right channel for your messaging and how to automate that process, a quick rule of thumb is this. If it needs explanation, email it. If it needs to be urgent, text it. But if it needs both, email first, then text. And if you want a single platform to manage email, SMS, and automation intentionally, tools like Mailchimp make it easier to apply this framework without guessing.